Fox 35 News at 5 starts now.
Right now, Israel's tanks and troops are lining up as thousands of families continue to pour out of northern Gaza. Israel is gearing up for a full-scale invasion. At least 2,300 people have died between Gaza and Israel, including 29 Americans. That number is expected to keep climbing. Hello and good evening. I'm Hannah McKenzie.
And I'm Deborah Choe. Thanks for joining us tonight for Fox 35 News at 5. Gaza is in crisis with more than 1 million people fleeing their homes. Fox 35's Madeline Rivera updates us on the situation from Jerusalem tonight.
More than 1 million people in the northern Gaza Strip have been ordered to evacuate as Israel warns it's ramping up its attacks against Hamas. In South Gaza, crowds formed around food distribution sites. Humanitarian aid groups warn the region is quickly running out of bread and drinking water as thousands flee the north, where airstrikes could be heard pounding Gaza City overnight.
Bombing is everywhere from north to shore to south. My kids are feeling so scared.
Israel's military redoubling its warnings for Gaza residents to get out, despite Hamas urging people to stay in their homes.
Any information coming out of the Gaza Strip authorized by Hamas should be treated with extreme caution and suspicion because it serves their propaganda purposes.
Meantime, a second U.S. carrier strike group is headed to the region. The so-called Mighty Ike departed Norfolk, Virginia Saturday with 5,000 soldiers on board.
Our deployment will undoubtedly strengthen relationships with our allies and partners, and we share the goal to deter aggression and, if required, deliver overwhelming combat power.
In a speech Saturday at a Human Rights Campaign dinner, President Biden referred to Hamas's attacks on Israeli territory as a manifestation of hate.
Hate toward one group left unanswered opens the door for more hate toward more groups, more often, readily. But here's what history shows. The antidote to hate is love.
President Biden had his first call with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas Saturday, in which he urged for allowing humanitarian aid into the region. In Jerusalem, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
Came out to protest! We came out to protest! To stand up for justice! To stand up for justice!
Well, happening right now, day 2 of protests in Orlando in support of Palestinians. Organizers told us yesterday they are demanding the end to Israel's bombing of civilians. One person we spoke with says his family's home was destroyed.
Right actually before the rally, we got a message that our house was bombed. I'm not sure, thank God nobody was hurt, but we don't know what the extent of what happened. This is like a mass murder. This is just a genocide. It's killing on a mass scale. This must stop.
Organizers started a petition calling on Florida's elected officials to, quote, stand up for human rights. Well, coming up tonight after playoff baseball, people are gathering in Orlando in support of Israel. We hear more from locals who have ties to that area.
We have new details tonight about 2 parents who were arrested after their special needs toddler drowned yesterday. Just after 3 p.m., Sanford police were called to an apartment in reference to a missing boy with autism near Town Center Boulevard. That's not far from I-4 and the 417. There, officers found 3-year-old Ethan Ortiz Ruiz floating in a nearby pond. His parents, Lester Ortiz and Barbara Ruiz, were arrested. According to police records, both parents had bloodshot eyes and smelled of marijuana. They're now charged with aggravated manslaughter of a child.
Well, also developing tonight, a homicide investigation in Marion County after 2 people were found dead at a home. Marion County Sheriff's Office says deputies were called to a home near 28th Street and 52nd Avenue around 11 o'clock this morning. Well, inside, a man and a woman were found dead from gunshot wounds. No other details were released, but anyone who might have known anything or saw anything should call Crime Stoppers at Marion County. Well, continuing coverage right now of David Choe, who is on trial. He's accused of actually murdering his wife. Court picks back up tomorrow.
The case has national attention now, and Fox 35's Matt Trezza updates us on what we've learned so far from witnesses who've taken the stand.
It was a shocking crime that made headlines nationwide. A husband charged with killing his wife in an idyllic Orlando neighborhood.
Delaney Park is one of Central Florida's most beautiful, oldest neighborhoods. You couldn't find a more quiet, Mayberry-type neighborhood in Orlando.
David Tronis was arrested in 2018. He's now on trial for murder after police found his wife, Shanti Cooper-Tronis, dead in their Delaney Park home. The defense contends she slipped and fell in the bathroom. Prosecutors say he killed her. Orlando attorney Albert Yanfa, who's not connected with the case, says the Tronis trial seems tailor-made for the tabloids.
We have charges of mental incompetence and schizophrenia. There's allegations that he was hiding money from her, that this whole thing turned into a money pit that just ended up in her murder. It's shocking.
The trial started this past Thursday with the jury hearing from 911 dispatchers, paramedics, and Orlando police officers.
He was not crying.
Have you never come across somebody who's in shock that displayed grief or such in a manner that was inconsistent with what you would expect normally?
Yes, I've seen that, but in this case, he was acting as though he was sobbing.
Objection, Your Honor.
On Friday, prosecutors called a family friend to the stand and also an Orlando police detective.
He was still crying and distraught and disheveled and just out of sorts.
Did you actually at any point in that interview observe any tears coming from his eyes?
No, never.
They also heard from an accountant and a medical examiner. Yanfa says this week, prosecutors will continue to make their case for first-degree murder.
To sort of build up the case against him as far as, there was no mental illness, there was a lack of remorse, there was, questionable cooperation and misrepresentations made to authorities during the investigation.
The trial is set to resume at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Further hearings are already scheduled for Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. In downtown Orlando, Matt Trezza, Fox 35 News.
All right, let's take a look at weather. Look at this beautiful picture from outside of our iDrive webcam over Orange County. We all have been talking about it this weekend, how beautiful and stunning our weather has been. But Floridians, gear up because we got some cooler, crisper air that is rolling in. And for all of us, we actually might need a jacket when you head out the door tomorrow.
I am not ready for this. Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Ian Cassette joins us now. Ian, how cold are we talking?
Yeah, temperatures tomorrow morning are expected to fall into the 50s to low 60s. And some have already been that cool here in even the past couple of weeks. But we're going to get even cooler into Tuesday and Wednesday morning. I'll show you those temperatures. But what a view outside. Clear skies, absolutely gorgeous. We have some dry air in place. It continues to move in. You probably noticed that breeziness. That's going to be here for tomorrow as well. That's a sign that the air is still funneling in. For this evening, maybe you want to head out for some dinner this evening. Temperatures are expected to be falling on the lower side. They will definitely be cooler tonight than last night. 70 degrees by 8 p.m., 10 o'clock, 67 degrees. But we're going to see these temperatures drop even faster this time tomorrow. What's driving it again is that front that rolled south. You see, we have nothing but beautiful clear skies over Florida. What's pretty fascinating is you have the cooler air going over the very warm Gulf waters, and that's what you're seeing, all these clouds just spilling over the Gulf of Mexico, and that's something you would see kind of in the lakes over the course of the winter up in the north. But for temperatures right now, what we are seeing are those temperatures up in Tallahassee, 72 degrees, 79 degrees in Orlando. They're down 88 degrees in Miami. They'll get a little bit of that cooler air by tomorrow. But what is ahead? We'll have that cool start to Monday. Winter-like highs to begin the week. Highs only warming into low 70s, and then chilly mornings Tuesday and Wednesday, even cooler than what I'm expecting for tomorrow morning. So this is what you'll wake up to tomorrow morning. We've already been in the mid 50s here so far this season in Ocala, but it's going to be a cool morning. Ocala, 55 degrees in Gainesville, 60 degrees in Orlando, 63 degrees in Melbourne. We haven't quite been this cool along the coast. 59 degrees in New Smyrna. So out the door, it definitely is going to be on the cooler side. A light jacket will be needed in the morning, and you might still need it for some of us into the afternoon because we're seeing temperatures that are well below average across not just here in Florida, but all across the southeast. We have temperatures that are going to feel more like January. So out the door, you'll have those temperatures into the 60s, 63 degrees by 5 a.m. I think that for tomorrow morning, we'll have a little bit of cloud coverage that may blanket and help our temperatures from getting even lower. But with those temperatures expected to warm back into the upper 60s to low 70s, maybe not even exactly the most comfortable day with those temperatures starting out in the low 60s. They're going to be slow to warm tomorrow afternoon. Here's looking ahead by 6 a.m. There's the clouds that I was talking about. See, we have a little bit of that cloud coverage there in the morning from Orlando to the southeast, and then clear skies to the northwest. Whenever you have clear skies, it allows the temperatures to drop even further. Into the afternoon, mostly sunny skies. Another gorgeous day will look like today, but it will be dramatically cooler. Today we got up to the 80s. Tomorrow, 72 degrees in Orlando, 69 degrees in the Villages. There's going to be many of us that will not get out of the 60s tomorrow afternoon, most to the west, so Leesburg to Gainesville, and also up into Palm Coast. If you're east of I-4 there and along Brevard County, we'll probably get those temperatures back into the low to mid 80s. But the forecast for tomorrow, rather low mid 70s. Forecast for tomorrow morning, for Tuesday morning, we'll have those temperatures into the 40s. Look at these temperatures there. 40s to the northwest, 51 degrees Bithlo, 46 degrees in the Villages. This will be the coolest area of the season there as we get on into Tuesday morning. So Tuesday and Wednesday morning, if you skipped out in the jacket tomorrow morning, you'll need it by Tuesday for sure. Tomorrow, hour by hour, 71 degrees by lunchtime. Get outside, take lunch outside. You won't regret it. Northwest wind, 5 p.m., 71 degrees. And then once that sun does set, those temperatures will be dropping pretty quickly. In New Smyrna Beach, maybe exactly with this weather in the low 70s, might not be as comfortable to get into the water, especially with the breeze, but we have beautiful weather for walking on the beach. 70 degrees by 12 o'clock, 70 degrees by 5 o'clock as well, as there won't be that big of a difference in those temperatures. So we'll have those temperatures again into the low 70s for many of us, low to mid 70s, some spots getting only into the upper 60s. What I find remarkable about this is that these will be potentially the coolest max temperatures that we have seen on this day for tomorrow. 1896, that was the last time we saw a high of 71 degrees. The warmest high or coolest high there in 1896 in Orlando. Tomorrow I'm forecasting 72 degrees, so we may see the coolest high we've seen since the 1800s. I think that's a pretty remarkable record to go down. 69 degrees is what the record is for Tuesday, 1943. We're going to be a little bit warmer probably on Tuesday, but in the morning on Tuesday, again, this is what is going to be tremendously cool for many of us. The Villages, 50 degrees, 48 degrees in Gainesville, and those temperatures, that will be dipping in the morning. So we'll have two really cool mornings, Tuesday and Wednesday. Those will be the two that you probably can't skip out in the jacket. We're just not used to these temperatures just yet, because remember, these are like January lows here in October, and then as the week goes on, we'll start to see those temperatures returning back to normal. Let's talk about a little bit what's going on in the tropics. We do have a tropical wave that is being monitored by the National Hurricane Center. This one with an 80% chance of development over the next 7 days. It could develop, in fact, over the next few days, and this would be Tammy. That would be our next storm on the list. For us, I'm not concerned as much. It does appear that this will turn to the north, but the Caribbean Islands, Eastern Caribbean Islands, will be watching this one closely as models do show it bending northward. And I will also add, this is a little bit of an unusual spot for a system to be this late into the season, but this will be a close call there for those Caribbean islands. So we'll keep you updated on that, but not expected to be any threat for us here in the U.S. Your 7-day forecast, that cool air is going to lead to impact days through Wednesday morning. The afternoons, I wouldn't expect much of an impact, just beautiful weather with temperatures in the low 70s Monday and Tuesday and upper 70s, warmer by Wednesday as those winds do shift. And then we're looking at pleasant weather to the end of the week. Another system could come by late in the week, but rain chances seem to be going downward there. But still a real nice weekend for next weekend if you weren't able to take too much of advantage of this weekend.
I am definitely going to be in a coat, my sweater. I'm going to be all warm and cozy because those lows at night when we're out there doing our live shots, oh, that's going to be cold. I'm already bringing out the winter boots, and I did not think that I would be doing so this early, especially just moving back to Florida. Yes, I know. Okay, so before we go, I want to introduce my new co-anchor, Hannah McKenzie. You're going to be with me on Sunday nights. So where did you come from your last market? Last station was in Asheville, North Carolina. So I'm used to the cold, but that is why I am moving back to Florida. Because I love the 90s, the 100s. I'll take it. Right, and you like our fall weather, right? I love it. I love kind of just gliding right into it. Exactly. Yeah. All right, perfect. Excited to have you here, Hannah. Yeah. Thanks so much for being with us tonight, and thanks for joining us here tonight at 5. The news continues tonight at 10 after the game on Fox 35 and over on our website, fox35orlando.com. We'll see you then.